Solana is starting to take off after these two massive announcements. Cardano is getting a lot of traction in Japan, and AVAX launches a huge new partnership with FIFA. So what does this mean for its price? This is your Altcoin Buzz News. Hey, what's up everyone? My name is Cody, and if you're new here, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you know when we drop latest content. Follow us on Twitter, altcoinbuzz.io, and as always, not financial advice, and wish you the best of luck in your crypto ventures. Alright guys, happy Friday. Bitcoin is holding up just around $111,000, but I do expect a little bit of a pullback either maybe today or over the weekend. I do think we get a little bit of a pullback at some point soon. We can see here, at least on this time frame on the 4-hour chart, we're putting in these large wicks. So I think it's very possible that we do come down to at least 108, maybe even to 107,000 in the near future. I do think a lot of people have, made a lot of money on this big run up. Now, one thing I want to show real quick is we tend to pump in 10 to 12-ish% little pumps, and then we consolidate on Bitcoin. So if we look here, from this pump here recently, we pumped about, 11.5%. Then we did it again here. We pumped from here to here, about 10, 11%. And then we did it again recently where we pumped about 10% so far. So we could still go up a little bit, but I think this is probably a natural point where we will do a bit of consolidation on Bitcoin, just like we've done here. And now moving on, today we have Bitcoin has just surpassed Amazon in market cap, now among the top 5 assets globally, just after Apple. So we have gold, Microsoft, Nvidia, Apple, and then Bitcoin, Amazon, Alphabet, and silver. So Bitcoin is climbing the ranks here. We also have major US banks, including JP Morgan Chase, Bank of America, Citigroup, and Wells Fargo, are exploring to issue a joint crypto stablecoin, according to the Wall Street Journal. So everyone wants to get into the stablecoin game, especially now that the Genius Act is starting to pass. Everyone wants to get into the crypto game because it is a good moneymaker. We also have Crypto Rover saying Taiwan lawmaker proposes national Bitcoin reserve with 0.1% GDP or $780 million. The country FOMO is here. And then moving on, we have Not Telling saying, okay, so we got confirmation that Ondo Global Markets is launching on Solana. We also know that Robinhood app submitted an RWA tokenization regulatory proposal to the SEC and wants to also launch on Solana. We know Robinhood listed Ondo to their European platform. We also know the Founders Fund invested in both Robinhood app and Ondo. Are you connecting the dots yet? Robinhood app will launch an entire RWA platform powered by Ondo and Solana. So this is one of the major announcements recently where Solana is starting to see big players building on their platform. We have Ondo, we have Robinhood, and we also have Kraken now. So Kraken said, today we're announcing our new partnership with BackedFi for the launch of X stocks on Solana. X stocks Fi will offer tokenized versions of US listed equities available soon to eligible Kraken clients in select non-US markets. A new layer of market access built on crypto rails and designed to expand across chains. So everyone clearly wants to launch stocks and equities on chain RWA, and they really want to do it on Solana. Now, that's part of the reason why Solana is pumping. Solana looks great right here, but it's kind of at an area of resistance right now. We don't want to see it close back down below here because this will be confirmed as resistance. But if we can hold above this level on a couple, 4-hour candles or a daily time frame, this is very bullish for Solana and probably a good trade to take to the next level of resistance around 225. So overall, Solana is looking good and one of the better performers today. We can see Bitcoin starting to be red on the day, and then Solana is still up 2% on the day. So Solana looking good. And then we have Coin Bureau saying Japan drives ADA trading surge. The ADA JPY pair ranks second in global volume, soaring in the last 24 hours. Japanese investors are backing Cardano. So it seems that Japan loves Cardano. We also have Tap Tools saying volume doesn't spike in isolation. It follows infrastructure, regulation, and readiness. Japan's appetite for ADA is rising because the rails are already in place. Liquidity always finds maturity. Cardano is built for it. So we can see here, the change in volume, 323% change in 24-hour volume for ADA JPY. So the Japanese love Cardano. We also have Google search interest in Cardano is breaking out, reaching levels not seen since its all-time high in 2021. So we see, if you go to Google Trends, you can check out how, things are surging. And we have Cardano's price prediction 2030, 250%, rise in interest on Google Trends, along with different, Cardano price predictions. And then we have Tap Tools saying Cardano is the most overlooked, best positioned crypto asset in the world. While others chase hype, it's quietly positioned to be the #1 smart contract platform. So they say TVL doesn't tell the whole story. Cardano's $22 billion in staked ADA isn't counted in DeFi rankings. If it were, it'd rank number 2 by TVL right behind Ethereum. Why? Staking is liquid, no lockups, no penalties, you keep your assets and your yield. Decentralization starts with accessibility. Running a Cardano stake pool costs as little as $15 a month and uses 99.95% less energy than Bitcoin mining. No warehouses, no industrial rigs, just a laptop and internet connection. Cardano is bridging the gap to Bitcoin. Smart contracts built on Cardano will soon be verifiable on Bitcoin, the largest crypto by market cap, with $1 trillion plus in dormant liquidity. Institutions want yield on their Bitcoin, and that's where Cardano comes in. And liquidity leaves exchanges when conviction is high. In 2025 alone, nearly $1 billion in ADA has been pulled from centralized exchanges. The last time we saw this kind of a movement when ADA climbed to $3.10 in 2021. So conviction in ADA is high, especially in Japan. Now, we pretty much have come back up to this level of resistance, kind of corresponding. Actually, Bitcoin's kind of selling off right now. So that's why a lot of things are dropping. So Bitcoin's, yeah, pretty much what I thought. Yeah, we're probably going to come down towards at least this 109 area, maybe even 106. It wouldn't be too bad if we came down to 106. But yeah, starting to sell off a little bit right now. Anyway, that kind of correlates to what I was saying here, where we've come up to this level of resistance again on Cardano. I wouldn't be too surprised if we came down and tested, somewhere around 76 cents and then broke through. And it depends on how low Bitcoin's going to go right now. But as long as we hold above this level here, we're totally fine, around 73-ish. As long as we hold around here, the next test, I'm sure, is probably going to break through this level around 84 cents, this net level of resistance, because we've tapped it twice here, once, twice. So I wouldn't be too surprised if we come down, consolidate, and we break through this next level again on Cardano. CoinEx is one of the best exchanges you haven't heard of. Like Gate.io or Mexi, they offer a lot of coins, but more importantly, they offer the high quality coins you want. In fact, over 1,020 coins in over 1,500 different markets are available, so it's a lot of access. CoinEx has active spot and futures markets, and this month there are 2 different events if you trade in CoinEx Futures. First, from May 16th to May 19th, you can get a piece of a $10,000 random airdrop. All you have to do is trade at least $100 worth on CoinEx, and you can get a little extra USDT added to your account, and just for trading, which you're already doing anyway. And then from May 19th to May 29th, we have a much bigger prize pool of 100,000 set tokens, which is CoinEx's native token. Here you get to apply what you've learned, and if you trade at least $1,000 in CoinEx Futures, then you qualify. Everyone who qualifies earns something, while the winner gets 7,000 set tokens. And if you haven't noticed, set has had a great last 12 months, up 68%. And that's about the same return as Bitcoin in the same period, so it's a nice coin to earn as a reward. So take advantage of CoinEx Futures offers to learn and earn more rewards. Start today by setting up your account on CoinEx and earn your part of these 2 different prize pools. Click the link down below for more information. And then moving on, we have a huge announcement from FIFA and Avalanche. FIFA isn't just dabbling in Web3, it's going all in with custom Avalanche Layer 1 to unify its digital strategy across collectibles, ticketing, and more. This will unlock digital collectibles, global experiences, and much more for billions of fans on one chain built for scale. This is just the start. FIFA's blockchain is a template for global sports, scalable, verifiable, and designed to engage billions. With Avalanche, football's digital future is no longer a concept, it's live. So for the longest time, Avalanche and FIFA have been doing different things together, different ticketing events, but now they've finally started to build their Layer 1, and I believe other sports will do the same on Avalanche. So Avalanche is that place where people come to build their own Layer 1, their own subnet, whether it's gaming, whether it's sports. Avalanche is bringing a lot of Web 2 brands to Web 3. We also have Hasib saying, big moves from AVAX this week with FIFA Chain. Expect more consumer companies and institutions to make their own moves. Being at the Avalanche Summit in London was electric, so much energy and enthusiasm from builders. Now, Avalanche is looking pretty similar to Cardano. I wouldn't be too surprised if we come back down here towards this $22 level in correlation with Bitcoin, selling off a little bit. But likewise, if you want to wait for a higher confirmation trade, you can wait for it to come back above this $27 level. If we reclaim this level and hold here, it's probably going towards $35 pretty soon. So that's a pretty good trade as well. Or you could just wait for it to come down here, wait for it to stop selling off, and then buy down here towards as well. And then lastly for today, we have Ethereum flips the Bank of America in market cap. Maybe not right now because it's starting to sell off a little bit. But Ethereum has just passed Bank of America. We also have Ali Chart saying ETH has built a solid support floor at 2370 with no significant resistance walls ahead. And then Ethereum.org says Ethereum is for shipping. Here's 21 things the global Ethereum ecosystem got done in the last few weeks. I'll read a couple of these. So the latest upgrade for Ethereum, Pectra, went live. Pectra introduced smart contract wallet features to improve UX, increase capacity for Ethereum Layer 2s by 2x, and activated validator UX improvements. We also have Stripe announced their stablecoin financial accounts. Now Stripe users in 101 countries can use Ethereum to hold, send, and receive stablecoins like USDC. Uniswap crossed $3 trillion in all-time swap volume. Koala Pay deployed over $40,000 raised on Ethereum for the victims of the Myanmar earthquake. Superstar Funds announced an opening bell, enabling companies to issue public equity on Ethereum. The Nasdaq announced plans to bring ETH exposure into public markets. CowSwap hit a new record of 24,000 unique traders. And Aave announced their work with the Ant Group to build real-world asset marketplace on Ethereum. Ethereum is for tokenization. So Ethereum is selling off a little bit, to be expected, as Bitcoin is starting to sell off right now. Now we are coming down to this level around 25.50, but I wouldn't be too surprised if we came down towards 24-ish around this level again, and then we reclaim this. And I think the next time we come up to this level, we're going to break through it very decisively. We'll come up into this next level of resistance around 3,050, and then we'll come down a little bit and then, break through again. So I think we'll at least break these in the near term. I think Ethereum's starting to gain traction again. BlackRock is starting to buy it. Big institutions are starting to buy it. There's more inflows coming into Ethereum ETFs as well. So I think Ethereum is finally starting to get its time in the market again. But unfortunately, we're starting to sell off this morning right now. We have Bitcoin, we're currently under 109 or 110. So overall, Bitcoin does still look fine to me as long as it holds above $106,000. I think any dips are for buying. And if we get 10%, 20% dips on altcoins, those are definitely opportunities to load up before this next leg higher. So that is it for the video today, guys. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you on Monday.